everybody, and welcome to Toppy Bluecast Instant Match Reaction. Brighton 0, Everton 1. Get involved, get in the comments, and it will come live on X, but the link is there to come over to YouTube. We have a lot of regular Everton fans in the comments, which you can interact with. It's fun. Get involved. Come over to YouTube if you can. If you can't, it's there on X to listen to. Get involved, listen to it on X. At the start, we always say, if you can hit that like and subscribe, more people will be on it. So just do that so we can get a good show. Instant match reaction. Paul, how are you feeling, mate?
Feeling good, relieved. There was a lot of defending today, which we'll talk about. But first back-to-back wins this season.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Well, yeah. Mad, isn't it? David Moyes has done in 3 games what Sean Dyche couldn't do all season. And I know a lot of people will compare this game with Sean Dyche and David Moyes, and they'll probably say, oh, I will. And some will be like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. Yeah, we're better with Moyes. We're better with David Moyes. We really are. And I'm just gutted we didn't have Moyes at the start of the season, because I honestly do believe he knows how to win games, as he's shown us in the last 2. And we probably would have crumbled that game under Sean Dyche. You never know. But here we go anyway, people. Get your reaction in the comments. Let us know. Get on. Let us know what you think of the game. Paul, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? I am in love.
What are you going to say?
I can't deny our number 10. His name's Early Menenjai from Senegal to Bramley Moore. He's freaking brilliant. He's the one that we adore. There he is, look. And the Eagle celebration. The Eagle celebration. I am in love.
But you got a yellow card
I can't deny. Doing the Eagle. Seagull. Eagle celebration. Seagull. I can't deny. Our number 10. His name is Early Menenjai from Senegal to Bramley Moore. Look at Beto there. So, yeah, we'll try and talk about a few patches of the game, and we'll start off as Paul's put on the screen there. The first goal, 100% penalty. I do not know what Brighton fans are booing for. I really do not know what they're booing for on the big screen. I don't know what they showed them on the big screen. It must have been something where it said Seagulls are 1-0 down or something like that, because there was all booing. It couldn't have been the replay that they've seen, because that was the most blatant. I was just like, if VAR is looking at that, it will 100% be a penalty. That's what I was. Well, you never know with Everton, do you? I was thinking you never know, but it was one of them where if it wasn't, that would have been the most angriest I've ever been with a referee if that wasn't a penalty, because it was deliberate handball, like pure deliberate handball. That was.
The only thing I wondered is whether they were going to give a foul against Beto, which it wasn't, by the way. I think the guys clawed the ball, thinking if he does that, it's going to be a free kick. So good on the referee for sort of not folding under that. It took him a long time to come to the actual final decision, but it was absolutely ridiculous. It was a definite penalty, and amazingly taken as well. Didn't even look at the ball.
No, he's got some bottle. I wasn't sure who was going to take the penalty. Obviously, because Njai took the last one, I was thinking, is Njai the penalty taker? And he clearly is. It showed you that he's took penalties before, because it showed you where his previous penalties have gone. So he was clearly the penalty taker for Sheffield United. And he's got the confidence to take penalties. I was more confident with Njai than what I would have been with Beto. I thought Beto deserved to take the penalty because he got the goal from practically nothing. Like you said, I do think, though, I don't think he grabbed the ball because he thought it was a foul. I think he grabbed the ball because it was going on Beto's knee, and he thought Beto was going to be in towards goal, because the ball was going right on Beto's knee, and I think he thought Beto's that good. Beto was going to score, which he probably might not have done.
He doesn't know Beto very well, does he?
Fair play to Beto, though, because a lot of people wouldn't have chased that down. A lot of people wouldn't. That's a penalty that comes from what you wouldn't normally get. Yeah, Tuzzel, get in there with your prediction, mate. Love it. What was your prediction?
I was too busy drinking and dancing last night to have one.
Oh, yeah. I did send you a message. 2 seconds.
I did send you a message. on the show.
I think you come up 2 seconds. I didn't know if you put a prediction down. My prediction was loads goals, so I was wrong. But I was really happy with 1-0. And back to Ndiaye's goal, it was a cracking finish. So composed. Like, he didn't even look. He didn't even look. And he put it the other side. And I always say when Ndiaye does anything, he does it at a fast speed, but slows it down, and it looks like he's got loads of time all the time in the world. He is like Berbatov. He reminds me of Berbatov. He just slows the game down. And at first I thought, is he even hit that hard enough? But he knows exactly what he's doing. And I've got 100% confidence in. And Paul, he's becoming in my top ever Everton players, you know. Because that celebration.
You notice your tweet, yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's like, I've got like Tim Cahill at the top, Pinar, and I tell you something, he's getting up there, and Jai is. I'm starting to fall in love with him, especially when you're doing a seagull celebration. That is me. That is just so me to do an eagle celebrate, like seagull celebration. So eagle. I keep saying eagle. They're not even big birds. They're little birds, seagulls, as we've shown today. But celebration. That is just, that got me. Was you jumping around when that happened?
Yeah, of course, definitely. And Vardy's done it before when he scored against Palace, I think.
He did tiptoes.
I've seen it a couple of times, but they really don't like it, do they? No, they really don't like it. But our lads actually during the game, I thought we were pretty relaxed. We didn't kind of get involved in too much. They're
not that big. Seagulls or Eagles, mate. We did them. We actually, you know what? We actually have beat the Eagles and the Seagulls, because we beat Crystal Palace and now we've just beat Brighton. There are wins this season. Yeah, so we've done the Eagles and the Seagulls this season, people.
Maybe we're good at playing against birds. That's
we like
that our thing. That's our thing. Maybe that's our thing. But no, they all seemed. I think the team seemed. They worked hard, but they seemed pretty laid back about everything today. I thought put a shift in, but they didn't get sucked into any of the nonsense that Brighton were throwing around. We proper got into their heads, to be honest. And I think that's helped.
Let's put our match analysis brain on now. We're starting really excited. Let's put our punditry football brains on. And I just want to say, right, O'Brien, I've got pure Jolyon Lescott vibes, you know. Like, he's proper. And I don't care who comes at me and goes, it's Jolyon Lescott. What are you comparing to him for? If you remember Jolyon Lescott, when we played him left back, he was just solid and just calm, didn't lose the ball, always found a man, loved to tackle. And O'Brien was the same. O'Brien was so good. And I've buzzed about O'Brien and wanted Dyche to play him. And Moyes could have played him and he could have been a flop. And he could have done what Godfrey did sometimes right back and not been as good. But O'Brien is a player, I'm telling you. Every time he's got the ball, he tries to find feet. He doesn't rush to clear the ball. And as you said, Paul, I think today when I watched the game, get involved in the comments, let us know what you thought. But the way we moved the ball across the back against Brighton started good, but then all of a sudden our defenders just stepped back. Garner Gay come and sat in. So Garner Gay was a nice pivot, I thought. Garner Gay, I thought he was fantastic today. One of the best players. And he come and he made a nice pivot. So the ball was always going to Branthwaite, to Tarkowski, and then to O'Brien. And you definitely felt with those four, like Branthwaite, Tarkowski, O'Brien, and Garner Gay as the move around, that was a way of us getting possession. And we wouldn't normally even try that under Sean Dyche. It would be a loft up. And the first off, I was thinking, you know what? Brighton are a possession team, but we're fighting for a good percentage of possession here. And we was. And that's what where mainly the goal come from, because we pulled back, tried to get possession. But then when they pulled onto us, we tried to do the long ball into our striker to catch them out. So we drawed them in. And that was the game plan, and I liked it. It wasn't just to have possession. It was when you come and try and get it off us when we've got possession, we've also got the option of playing the long ball into the striker and getting Doucoure around him. And I was just so happy to think I was fuming under Dyche, where Dyche just knocks the ball up at every chance. Knock it up, knock it up, knock it up, give possession. And my football team never has possession ball. And it was getting us angry, wasn't it? But we did have to get a bit of possession first off. So when we 1-0, fair enough, they had it all. But when we wanted to win, we was a lot better, I thought.
Yeah, kind of look at stats and stuff. I had a message off a mate who said, "Are we being negative?" And I think I said back to him, "Whoever wins possession wins." You know, maybe it's that kind of game today. And it was that first half, especially. It was a case of not giving the ball away. I don't know whether we didn't have any sort of attacking threat. Obviously, Brighton were not going to just let us walk through with the ball and stuff, but there was about it was about 2 minutes where we just literally kept hold of the ball. I think this was before the penalty, and we just kept it, and it went round the back, and it went sort of in the middle, and then back to the side. And I was surprised Brighton didn't push us much harder in that first half. They seemed quite happy to let us have the ball on the halfway line and just sort of stop any attack. But they weren't hunting the ball down. I think they've got issues.
I don't think they could get it off us.
Well, I think they probably could if they pushed us a bit more. But we were more comfortable and confident on the ball. And like I said, everyone seemed pretty relaxed. You know, in past games when we've tried to keep hold of the ball, people have panicked, and we didn't look very panicked. I think the lads have got a lot of confidence in people like Branthwaite, Tarkowski, and O'Brien being at the back. You know, they're big lads, and there's a few times today where you thought a Brighton player had got away from them, but they just got them long legs and they just suck the ball back in.
Some cracking that O'Brien tackle at the end, you know, near the penalty spot, near the box. That O'Brien tackle when Mitoma got away from him. O'Brien had one of the biggest jobs, and fair play to Lindstrom as well, because Lindstrom massively helped O'Brien out. He did take a yellow card for him at one point. And Lindstrom put a shift in and did everything he can. But there were some moments towards the end of the game where Lindstrom wasn't even there, and it was just O'Brien. What have you got? And he's growing into it. You know, you could see his confidence. I'm really loving O'Brien. Like, you could see his confidence become. He'll get better and better. You know, he'll get where he's going to be a Godfrey. He's going to be like a Branthwaite. Sorry, not going to be a Godfrey. He's not going to be a Godfrey. He's going to be a Branthwaite. And O'Brien's a player, and I'll never forgive Sean Dyche for not getting him in the squad, because he's a weapon. Like, to not use him. One of my Irish mates said, he's got contributes. You've got to be getting him in when you can. And Sean Dyche wasn't even bringing him on sometimes to see games out. And O'Brien is a beast. You play against a football player as big as O'Brien, it's intimidating. It is really intimidating. And today it was a battle. Mitoma, Small and Speed, and Lamptey against the big giant O'Brien, and they didn't score and we did. So I think O'Brien won the battle of the speed today, Paul, and I was really happy. More than O'Brien played well, by the way, but I like, because O'Brien's been pushed out and mistreated, in my opinion, from Dyche and not given a proper chance and didn't do nothing wrong in that Roma game. I'm happy O'Brien's coming in that right back position and does nothing wrong. I didn't even have a problem with Ashley Young in the right back position, but O'Brien's coming in and showing you, wow, he can be 20 times even better. Like, he's really good in that position. I like it.
Weirdly, there's a bit of variation in our right backs now, not just in age either, because you've got Patterson who can make the runs going forwards. You've got O'Brien, who's obviously got the height and the strength, and then you've got Young, who's got the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I said on the pre-match, Paul, I said we should. No offense to Ashley Young, because I think he's been fantastic. I think he's been one of our better players, and he hasn't been the reason we are in this relegation battle. But we should be above him. Like, at his age, we should be a better standard than Ashley Young. And I think I said he should be a player that comes on with experience. And what happened today was perfect. The way David Moyes played it, to bring him on later on when you've had your better players on and done the job. I like that. I like what he did. And he knows how to see a game out, David Moyes does. Sometimes you don't want to see it because you think to yourself in your head, you're thinking, 1-0, don't sit back because they'll score. Let's go for the second goal. But David Moyes, if you remember when he was a manager back in the day, he knows how to see 1-0 out, doesn't he? he does know how to get a 1-0 win. And I was confident that we could do it, like you just said, with the 3 giant centre-backs. When they're whipping balls in, you've got O'Brien, Tarkowski. Another player that I need to give a shout out, because I've just said him, Tarkowski has been fantastic under David Moyes, like fantastic. I know Dyche was always Tarkowski's old manager, but maybe Tarkowski wanted a new manager and thinking, I want to get away from these Burnley vibes. And Tarkowski under David Moyes, because there was a lot of doubt on Tarkowski. People were saying he's making mistakes after coming back from playing with an injury. And since under Moyes, he's been faultless. His blocks have been perfect. His headers have been perfect. And he knocks players out after the game. You can't fault him, can you, Paul?
Beast.
He's beast.
That's why I said, like,
Tarkowski's a beast.
I think the lads have got confidence in sort of the 3 musketeers there. They're big lads. They've got a mixture of experience and youth. They've certainly got long legs between them. They can all head a ball.
Mean machines.
Decently. They are. They're proper mean gladiators, machines, if you like.
So. Branthwaite as well, fantastic as well today. Branthwaite was just, he was clean today, wasn't he? Like, clean and tidy on the ball and always moved it so we could have possession. I really rated Branthwaite as well today. I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, middle of the pitch. I know it kind of went on because of injuries and stuff, but Garnegay ran his socks off. Manga. I thought all of them defended really well. I mean, Doucoure he's hilarious. He's absolutely, he can barely run without the ball, but with the ball, it's only going to end one way. So he's a body and he gets in the way, and he'll cause the opposition to lose the ball. But if the next kind of stage eventually will be to have someone in that position who can defend a bit, but also, create something. And I hope that happens soon. Doucoure, bless him. He, I think when DCL went off and I realised that we'd have Beto and Doucoure as our attacking force, I didn't really expect us to be scoring many goals. Fair play to him for running after the long ball that went through, which got the penalty. Do you know what I mean? However, we defended pretty much the whole game, I would say.
I think it's hard for Doucoure and Beto sometimes because we don't really put much stuff to hold up to a lot of the stuff's like hopeful stuff to get them up the pitch, and they've got no one. They have got no one. Like, they've got Beto will run up and he's got 2 players around him, and he'll try his best to try and keep it with being marked by 2 players, and 2 players should beat 1. So rightly so, they do get the ball off him a lot. Doucoure, you want the positions that he gets in, him to be better on the ball. And we need that. Dewsbury Hall would be a really good signing, I feel, if we can get Brozier to go back and Dewsbury Hall in that position, because he's got more of a goal threat. He's more like a Tillemans or a Fernandez. Like, he's got more of a goal scoring threat in the 10. Better with his feet, Dewsbury Hall.
I think we've still got a lad in there in terms of Armstrong.
Yeah, I do think that as well, yeah. But I don't know whether Moyes is going to trust him. But what I was just going to say to you is, I can never not shout out the reason Doucoure is getting played is because he covers more ground than anyone. You look behind Beto, and then you look at Doucoure run. Doucoure covers more closing down areas than what anyone else will cover down. He's not fast, but he just keeps going. And the amount of ground he covers down massively helps Mangala and Garnegay, because Doucoure, the more that Doucoure runs, saves Mangala and Garnegay running that space. Do you know what I mean, Paul? That's the thing. It helps them out. And I think if Doucoure didn't take away some of Mangala's and Garnegay's running, they'd be burnt out more, and they probably wouldn't have as much of a good game. You might think different, but that's just what I think. I think that's what he does have. Oh, I see how it is now. Now he's back from the Friday night, Bevy. I get dumped. You can come on if you want, mate. Get on, mate. Celebrate. Celebrate. Saying you're the league, mate. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of sort of. I asked earlier on man of the match shouts and stuff. Lots of people saying Garnegay, the big lads at the back. I mean, I don't think you can fault anyone's effort. I like the fact that now Lindstrom is starting. I know it's a more defensive kind of game from us today, but
still looks sharp though, doesn't he?
I
looks
think
sharp on his.
I think he works defensively as hard as Harrison does. I just think he's got a bit more going forward than Harrison. You know, so
and his delivery is good as well. I think his crosses was he's got good delivery as well.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people also mentioning a bit of news about Brozier as well. Supposedly, reports of Brozier staying. Emma mentioned it before. There's a couple of other people mentioned it as well.
I did say that he might be going, but yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, he's going to get his rehabilitation with us, and then I guess we see. Hopefully, it's not as lengthy as we first thought, but
that was the big downfall, is that Calvert-Lewin pulled up injured earlier on, and you do think to yourself straight away, oh my God, we've only got I don't mind Beto as much as some do, by the way. And you think to yourself, we've only got one striker because Schmidt's out, Brozier's out, and if Calvert-Lewin's out, all we've got is Beto. And you could see even Beto when he come on, he probably needed subbing later on because he'd ran so much. And I think with the way that we play, Paul, we do need to substitute our striker all the time. Like, I don't think a striker can play 90 minutes with how much we burn him out on running the channels. So I do think that we need to bring a striker in, or a winger that can play striker.
And he was definitely spent. You know, he's not. I don't think he's had many games where he's actually played a full 90. So, and he practically did that today. What was it, 10 minutes or something? And when did he
80
go
minutes? Yeah.
13, yeah. Calvert-Lewin Beto came on after 13 minutes, so he's certainly put a shift in. But if we're going to be a threat in the area, then you'd need someone, I think. As a backup, no, I'd want to see someone brought in who we know could do a job.
Here he is.
Right. Here he is.
Here he is.
Yeah, but what a win. 2 in a row.
What a win.
How are you feeling after that, Lukey?
Mate. To be honest, I think it's still a bit of a dream. I mean, 2 wins in a row, that's unheard of with Everton, isn't it? Especially this season. We've been, what is it? We go win, draw, loss, draw, win, loss, draw. We've been doing that for so long now. I've been thinking that's how you actually play the game. You win one, you have to draw a few, lose a few, and then you can win again.
Yeah, the way we're doing it. I mean, the Blues has just put there. We just said Beto play 80. The Blues said there was that much extra time. Beto probably played 90 minutes. He's right. I mean, I actually,
he has.
I actually felt like I don't ever want to do this, and obviously I wasn't at the game, so I was watching it on telly, and I did want to switch it off, and I never not see a game out, never. But I wanted to switch it off extra time. I felt sick. I didn't like it, And I was the worst thing is I was really confident in Branthwaite, Tarkowski, and O'Brien. I was really confident in them, and I thought, yes, we're going to do it, and I really wanted them to do it. But I still had that Everton curse thing in my head because if you remember, Dunk scored a late header against us to make it 1-1. And I had those flashes going through my head, when they was whipping balls in. But I should have trusted my players more and I did leave it on. But a couple of times I was like scared. I was scared because at the end of the day, that win today, especially after Arsenal bringing it back against Wolves when Wolves had 11 men and Arsenal had 10, and then it went 10 against 10 and Arsenal coming back and winning. That was massive for us today. 3 points, because we don't want our last season. First of all, we don't want our last season at Goodison Park to be remembered by the first time we ever got relegated. We don't want that. We'd get the piss taken out of us so much. So we want David Moyes to come in and not get us away from a relegation battle. So we're not even in a relegation battle. That's what we want, like last season. So there's a relegation battle, but Everton aren't involved with it. And I do believe that today was a big step, through beating Brighton today was a big step, because that Brighton team will beat a lot of teams. And to go to their ground, we got the results on, didn't we, Luke? They was in good form. They'd won two good wins, beat Man United, and who ain't that good, but still beat them. But they was in good form. They hadn't lost in a lot of games, and we beat them. They hadn't lost, and we beat them. So that's massive for us today.
I also think this is probably the first time in quite a while that they've actually lost and the opposition have had a clean sheet. Because most of their other games, if you actually look at them, they've scored in almost every single one of them, apart from a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, they had. We did highlight that, didn't we, Luke? That there wasn't many games that they didn't score. So we've done really well to stop their attacking players. And I don't even think they did look like scoring, did they? I can't think back to many chances where there was through.
To be honest, they had many chances sort of close, but I'd say against less opposition, those are moments where they would have scored. Mintoma, Yankuba, it was the lads up front, Jean Pedro. They all had cracks at it, but the fact that we had Tarkowski, Branthwaite, O'Brien, Idrissa Gueye, Mikalenko, they were all putting their bodies on the line for it. They were getting in the way and being an absolute nuisance, stopping them from getting anything from it. So we made it so that Pickford could have quite easily just gone the deck chair else and just watched.
Names keep popping up, and we've got no particular order. It's just instant match reaction, so we don't have it ordered the way we go through the game. But if someone pops up, I'll give them a shout out. Jordan Pickford's catching. We said, Luke, didn't we, in the pre-match that Jordan Pickford, he's always good, but he's been extra good. He's had no mistakes in his game the last 4 or 5 games. Even when we've lost, he's been faultless. Today, he's catching at the end of the game when you're under pressure. He used to struggle with his catching, if you remember. When he used to come out, he used to do dopey stuff when he come out, but he's improved on everything now, Pickford. And they were whipping some balls in at the end where he come out and caught it, and you thought, yes, get him, and took the pressure off us.
Yeah, I think as of recently he's replaced his what's the name, his goalkeeper glove oil stuff, because he apparently used to use butter for his goalkeeper gloves. He's now actually put Pritt stick on them. So it's actually sticking to them now. He's like that.
It's working. It's working. Did you see? I don't know whether you've seen it. Did you see that kid behind Pickford with the Pickford kit on that looked exactly like Jordan Pickford?
Baby Pickford.
I want a picture of it. The match was on, and they put the camera on Jordan Pickford, and right behind him, you could see the fans behind Pickford, and there was a little kid with exactly the same top on, and his hair flicked back like Jordan Pickford. I'm sure it will be on X because people always find stuff, and it was Pickford with a little kid behind him that dressed up exactly. Well, he looked identical to Pickford, and I thought it was pretty cute. To be fair,
the one that made me laugh was when we were watching the VAR screen. So when the referee went up to the VAR screen, you had all the Brighton fans behind him, giving them all sorts. I saw someone with a
girl
like this.
Yeah, he's getting money.
But now, come on,
I've seen that.
Oh my god! And the Brighton,
they tried
that's
anything.
The only way they'd be able to get a decision their way. That I'll be honest, the referee today, he was all over the show. He was giving fouls that were stopped. He was booking. I mean, Element and Die. Everyone knows for a fact he was celebrating the Senegalese eagle. He was doing that for the Senegalese eagle. He doesn't give a crap about bloody Brighton and the Seagulls.
It could be. I think it was a seagle. To me, I never birds. And that was a Senegalese seagull. It was a Senegalese seagull.
Well, that one's on Church Street at the moment.
I loved it.
Keeps going after me chips.
McNeil did his arms out, did the eagle, and Jai did. We love playing Brighton away, don't we? They must hate us away.
It's a bit of a good ground for us, isn't it?
So that's like 3 out of the last 4 games we've done.
We've got Everton supporters here. I mean, I put the lucky tops on them today. 1-0, enjoy. Let's give them an appearance. Yeah. Here's one.
Hey.
Mini me. And here's 2.
Beautiful.
Here's 2.
My little sister's in a football team.
Yeah. You know, the little baby toffee.
I can't deny. Number 10. Look at that toffee kit as well. The actual kit that we had on today. the actual kit that we had on today. Enjoy. I am in love. I can't deny. Our number 10, his name is Earlyman. And Jay, from saying go to Brammy Moore, he's freaking brilliant. He's the one that we adore. Did you like the Enjoy song?
Yeah.
What did you think of Enjoy today? It's got eyes open as well. Look, loving it. This is like the little Everton family now, isn't it? We'll get them all. New Evertonians are here in the building. I mean, my lad, he doesn't like football, so I tried with him.
It doesn't mind.
I think Leeson cried in an Everton kit, actually, so I just said, no, if you don't like football, it's fine. Yeah, I know, you're the middle one.
I'm the middle football child.
But yeah, the Evertonians have done it. We've done it. Mini Toffees. Hopefully they get a better future. I mean, she has just been sick a little bit, but that's just
she does it in the middle of the important thing.
But I felt like being sick at the end of the 8 minutes added on. I felt like being sick, so it's probably a late reaction to the 8 minutes that we got added on. I am in love.
What do you think?
Feels good, doesn't it, to win? Like I had that feeling where we felt good for quite a long time now after that win, and I didn't want the next game to come because you don't want to lose that feeling. Do you know what I mean? And the fact we backed it up and kept that feeling, there's nothing better. And those Everton fans now that have travelling all the way back from Brighton, they've needed that. They've needed that because they've turned up. Yeah, they've turned up after loss. After loss, after draw, after not having a shot on target when they've travelled away some games. And it's nice for our fans to get something because our fans are the best. And we got something today. We got something. I am in love. Give it a song. Enjoy. I gave
it's a complicated song. I don't blame you.
She went in the room. Guess who just scored for Everton when she went in the room? Because he scored when she went in the room. And she goes, Beto. I goes, no. Calvert-Lewin, no. McNeil, no.
I said Doucoure.
Doucoure. Beto, Doucoure.
I was like, what is it? Yeah, is it Beto? And I was like, oh.
He always says Beto. She's obsessed with Beto.
I want it to be Beto.
Obsessed with Doucoure. And no, it was
She's
Enjoy.
obsessed with just the name Toffee.
But yeah, you have got the kit on today. Right, that's the appearance from Eiley and Eliana.
Aww.
I am in love. I can't deny. This is where I want to take that off.
Dad, what's your favourite Everton song?
I am in love. I can't deny. Our number 10, his name is Earlyman and Jay. From Steady Go. She loves it, doesn't she? Pop Everton, look at looking now though. I am in love. Get the badge in. Get the badge in. I can't deny. Our number 10, his name is Earlyman and Jay. Do you know what though? I just thought, and Jay's got a kid as well, hasn't he?
I'm the king.
Is he?
I'm the king of the channel.
And Jay has.
King of the channel.
Knocked you out. Did you say that? That'll be a good short, that will, where I knocked you out.
No.
So, yes, that is a little top is in. You've got to go now. Bedtime, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So, David, you said why did we finish with 10 men? That was mostly down to Mangala being injured, and we used all 5 of our subs. So, to be honest, that one should be really contested. I think the substitutions should be used in the sense of you get 5 subs as long as if the player is injured, you should be given an extra sub for it. I mean, you get it for the concussion situation. Why not have it for general injuries? I mean, people could go on saying, oh, you could exploit it, just saying that someone could go down and everything. What it should be is you get given the extra sub, and then post-game, if it comes out that that player wasn't actually injured, they should turn around and say, right, you guys get fined, or the player that you subbed off that was faking the injury should be banned for the game. I think that's how they should be doing it. You should do it with the concept of honesty being put in place. And if you are dishonest with it and you're trying to just exploit that extra sub, then you should be punished for it.
Yes, but the rules are all bullshit, aren't they? They are just stupid rules. Like a big game like that, you should be able to have the extra man on. Frustrating, but I think there's a lot of rules that are bullcrap. The unconscious rule as well, when they come on, people don't use it properly. And to finish with 10, shows that we're even better as well. We're that good that we needed to get challenged even more, and we could still finish the game out with 10 men. Do you know the substitutions? What did you think of the substitutions? Because we went to, we will be coming to an end now. We'll go and celebrate. Patterson on, that probably Darsh won't bring on that much. Patterson on to help the right back out, and Ashley Young on to help the left back out. I like that little combo. I think we're building something where we put David Moyes puts that team out. That's his team, whether you like Doucoure or not. David Moyes, it's working for him. He thinks, right, this is working for me. And it's worked against a good team like Brighton. So I think Moyes will put that team out. It's defensively solid, so teams will struggle to beat us. And we can get that first goal, which we're starting to prove. So I like it, I really do like it. And you can see, confidence is building with everyone. And Jai's happy. O'Brien's really happy. He's probably thinking, Moyes is my God, I come to Everton thinking I'm going to play because I smashed it at Leon. And then you put me on the bench, Darsh. But Moyes is saying, yeah, you're in because I know no one can get past you. And I see that as an asset, O'Brien, that you are solid and that you're strong. And I like that Moyes, no matter what, he'll find a way to get the best players in. Mangala looks good under Moyes. Ghana Gay looks good under Moyes. Get your man of the match in the comments, people. We are coming to an end and we'll do our man of the match now. Mikalenko, I think, is really good. He did some good bombs forward today. Whipped a good ball across the box. I think Mikalenko looks rejuvenated because he can bomb it forward. Everyone's looking good, ain't they? Can't really fault. Is there anyone you'd fault today? Doucoure, yeah.
Not really. Not really. I mean,
but
Brighton,
his energy into it, that's the thing.
A bad team. They're obviously having a bit of problems at home and stuff, but Brighton aren't a bad side at all. And like Luke was saying before, it's actually this season they've only failed to score twice in all their games. So one was Ipswich earlier on in the season, 0-0, and the other one was Bournemouth, I think December, 0-0. They've scored in every other game. And I went the first game of the season and they actually proper spanked us 3-0. It was such an easy game for them. Today was very different. Very different indeed, certainly defensively. We were certainly a lot sorted out since then. A lot of water under the bridge since then. And the players just seem, like I said before, they just seem relaxed, a little bit laid back, but still putting in a shift and everything. There were smiles on the faces, not arguing with each other. And then you got people who are really pushing for their place and trying to cement it, like Lindstrom, like Mangala. He's on a loan. Some of these lads who are on loan are trying to get deals. You got some people who have sort of gone through the mill a little bit. And when they've come on, they've given it a proper shift. I mean, Patterson's obviously not got on with Deitch. Well, Deitch has been there. But every time Patterson comes on, he seems up for it, to be fair. You're almost waiting for him to get that ball and go down the line and push us up the pitch. So there's plenty of positives with the lads that we've got, but we do need some more. We do need some more.
More bodies.
Like Greg said on here, we're extremely light on the bench. Our two attacking options today were, say two attacking options. We had Beto. Beto was our attacking option, and he came on after 13 minutes. So we were very light with anything else after that. The rest of the players generally were midfield, sort of not workhorses. No, midfield workhorses. And Armstrong, who could do a little bit as well. We didn't have any people who would be out and out wingers or strikers either. So we're extremely light. We do need to get some people in, and there's not that long to be able to finalise some deals. So I hope Thelwell's on the blower.
I do believe when Moyes said in the presser, Moyes said, I can't say yes, we'll get players in, but I think players will come in. And I do believe players, he said attacking players is what we're looking at. So I do believe these players will come in. Another thing is, when you look at other teams, you look at Spurs, Solanke injured, had to play Richarlison, not even fit. There is a lot of injuries around, and I think we're doing well on injuries. We're just unlucky on strikers because we have got Calvert-Lewin, Brozier, Beto, and Shamiti. Yeah, so we have actually got 4 strikers on the books. That's the bad thing, is that 3 strikers out of the 4 are injured, and we've just got bad luck on that. It's not like we're unprepared. We have got strikers injured, and you have to deal with it. We do need another.
Yeah, we did have a moment where all of them were fit.
Yeah, I know. And then they all went down.
Who were going to play? And then they all got injured.
I know. It's just the way.
Do we start reading the academy? Well, the under-18s and under-21s. See what they've got there, because I mean, Sheriff could be one, and who's the other lads? I said him in the previous video. I think got his name, begins with an O. He's a good lad. I mean, he's got a good little record at the moment. I think he's got 4 goals in 8 games at the moment. So he could be one that we could have a look at. I mean, Leicester, the game coming up there, we could even experiment and say, Ndai, go up top, lad. Have fun up top. Have him up top. Harrison left. And I mean, Jack Harrison, not Harrison Armstrong, on the left. Lindstrom on the right, or even have him in the middle. And have Patterson come up the right. I mean, we've got, like we said, we've got players on the defensive and midfield option. All we've got to do, I think, Ndai up top, I think he could actually be the one. You have him sitting far back and then bursting forwards. As long as you've got the support either side, you could potentially open up Leicester.
It's a shame, me and Luke had this debate. I don't want to ever see Harrison in an Everton top again. It's a shame we can't send him back on loan. If we can't send Brozier back on loan, it's a shame we can't send Harrison back. Moyes hasn't brought him on. He's clearly not the biggest fan of him. I'd pay a little compensation. I'd pay $1 million to send Harrison back and get another loan. I would. I really would. I know that sounds bad, but we've under the Tom Cannon deal, we have put a 25% clause in that where we make just under $1 million for what they've sold him. So Everton was clever for the first time ever. That must have been a mistake. So we made just under $1 million by the Tom Cannon deal. So me personally, I'd put that money and say, right, Leeds, we'll give you this if you take Jack Harrison back. And I'd free up the loan there, because if Moyes didn't bring him on, and if Moyes wanted him to play, he probably would have brought him on. So, and I don't want to see Harrison play. He hasn't been good enough for me, and he's had more than enough chances. And Lindstrom's playing a lot better. So if we could get another winger in that can potentially play up front, like a Richarlison type winger that could play on the wing, but play striker, not as a big centre forward, we need to do that this transfer window, I believe. Because I really did have my mind set that we could send Brozier back. But now we can't. I think we've got to find other ways if the pot isn't big enough to sign players. Hopefully, Moyes has got a good pot and he's hiding it, and we might sign 3 players without loans.
You know, son, I've got a feeling if we do try and take Harrison and put him back to Leeds, they'll put him to Ellen Roads and they'll try and push him back into Leeds, and all you'll see is one of the receptionists going, no backsies, no backsies. Yours till May. No, put him back.
Is that the way you negotiation went? Do you think backseas was involved?
Like, look, we've got 5 million here. We'll give you 5 million and him back, so you've got an extra option. You could also give us Nosso if you want. No. Keep him. But I do definitely think we need to start raiding, and I think Moyes, he's got to have a couple of people, even if we have to raid the Championship. I know he's got an eye for a good Championship player. But it's one of them. It's great to see us getting them wins, and here you are. Come on, you Blues. Even says 2 wins in 3 games under Moyes. 2/3, 2 out of 3 wins for months. Under Dyche, it just shows his the limitations he had. And I did actually have a discussion with someone today. I had the drone up earlier today, and there was a chap who came on his bike, and we were having a little chat about Dyche. And he said it's sad to see that he was chased out the way he was, but it was his time. And I do agree with him. He saved us from relegation twice. And this season just wasn't his season. I mean, the injuries that we had in, and unfortunately, he's one of them who is stuck in his ways. I mean, the fact that we didn't go, the fact that he didn't go earlier is mostly just down to the fact that we were in that transition period between Mashiri and the Freaking group. Otherwise, we would have got rid of him probably around October or November. Let's see. We were lucky against it. Yeah, the Blues said their Championship players don't go for 1 to 2 million anymore. They'd swallow most of our budget buying one of them. Yes and no, in a way. Because what you normally have to do is you get them on an agreement. So it's normally like if you were to buy something on finance. So you put so much up front and then you pay them off over the course of the contract. So the likes with Irben that we got there, we got him for 10 million. We paid Aston Villa 2.5 million up front, and the rest of it is over the course of his contract. So it's going to be 2.5 for the rest of them 3 years then. So it ends up being, although it is 10 million, it's technically only 2.5 per every calendar year or every financial year. So that's how they normally do it now. So granted, we could end up buying someone off in a championship team for about, say, 10 to 15 million. But it'll probably be if we buy them on a 5-year contract, if that's even allowed for us. I mean, it's allowed to do decade contracts with Man City, but no one knows if we do a 5-year contract, like, oh no, you can't be doing that. That's naughty. That's very naughty. And it ends up being a lot cheaper. But
There is some good players about, because I watched one of the 12:30 games today, and it was Millwall versus Luton. And Millwall have got a young kid, Croatian kid, 20 years old, and he scored a cracker, touch volley. And there is some talented players about if you take the risk. And I think he has still got a bit of a price tag on him, because he looked like 20-year-old wonder kid that's on his way up. But it was the same with Gyökeres. We had him on the radar early. And if you do land him early, Gyökeres' value went from, like, you probably would have got him for 5 million when we first saw him. Then he went up to 18 million when we went for him the next season. And then he went up to 25 million. And now Gyökeres is probably worth like 60, 70 million. And he come from the Championship. So you can, if you land these Championship players early, which Moyes has got a reputation of doing, there's some really good players. Yeah, Kale come from the Championship. There's some really good players in the Championship. And Moyes, he loves those sort of deals. And even abroad, Moyes might get some abroad as well. We all said get Moyes in for, don't give him a 2-year contract, only get him in for 1 year. But I tell you something, if he keeps winning games, I want to get the passport, like they said in the comments. I want to start having the Europa League Thursday nights again and stuff like that, because he knows that Moyes is one where it's not always pretty, but he'll get the result. And I can't wait to see what he does in the FA Cup, because the way we played against Brighton today, I'm not scared of anyone in the FA Cup. And Moyes has got that feeling of trophy now, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's broke the cherry. He's got a trophy with West Ham. So could Everton, last season at Goodison Park, go all the way in the FA Cup? He got close with us last time, didn't he? He got close with us last time. Can he actually put it right and go all the way? Let's get excited, people. 2 games we've won in a row, and hard games as well. Brighton, I thought, Luke, you said it was hard in the pre-match. I thought it was hard. And I know Paul, if he was on the pre-match, he would have said, I don't know. What would you have gone with your prediction, Paul? A draw, probably, I bet, wouldn't you?
You know what? I probably would have, because looking at Brighton's home record recently, I would have fancied us to get something, just because of the players that are now starting would have been a big thing. So I would have said like a 0-0 or a 1-1. Something like that. I didn't expect us to keep a clean sheet.
It was all the comments, Paul, was like, comments was a lot of draws, 2-2s, 1-1s, and there was like a few losses as well, wasn't there, Luke? But there was some positive ones in there. It was 50-50, but I couldn't knock any of the comments because I know how good Brighton are. Brighton have spent a lot of money. And the fact we've gone and just beat Brighton away when they've spent that much money and we've spent bugger all shows that Moyes is doing something right. He's getting the best out of our players, because we did well today. All the money that Brighton has spent, I think they'd be the more frustrated that a team like Everton that haven't been able to spend with PSR over the last 3 seasons have gone and beat them at their own ground.
Yeah,
they'll be frustrated.
I mean, we won ugly, but we won. And to be honest, I would take an ugly win every single day of the week over a dramatic draw or a very late loss. I would absolutely take an ugly win every single day of the week. And I always remember back in the day when it was the 08-09 season, I remember early on we were getting these wins. They were ugly wins, but they were like 1-0 wins and 2-1 wins. And I remember listening to Radio City, and they actually had a sports calling, and people were actually complaining about these wins. They were saying, I remember when Everton never conceded, we were always winning 1-0, 2-0. What's happening to us? Like, hang on, we just won. Why are you whinging about a 2-1 win?
As long as you win, you don't care what the scoreline is. It feels the same. A win's a win. So all you want to do is beat the team, and a win's a win. Earlier on, when I said about I thought everybody played well, I know Doucoure didn't hold the ball well, but I thought he covered space, as we touched on, and we need that energy that Doucoure had to take a lot of the running off Ghana game, Mangala. Now, I want to just say about Beto as well, right? I know he does your head in sometimes because he's a bit clumsy, but if Beto didn't run, that player wouldn't have handballed it. Honestly, when Beto come on, he smashed into someone. As he always does, Paul. You know he's going to do it. He smashed into someone. Someone went down. He smashed into another centre-back. Another centre-back went down. He got fouled a couple of times. And you think, yeah, Beto's being a nuisance. He is. That he really does die for Everton. And you can guarantee, right, if Dunk was going to score, Beto would crack his head clearing that header to stop Dunk from scoring. He's done it before. Beto would he'd do anything for Everton in that shirt, and I can never fault that. And I think that run that he made against their defender, the defender shat himself and grabbed the ball. Beto got us a goal. We're celebrating tonight because Beto got us a penalty from nothing. And don't devalue that, people, because honestly, we didn't look massively like scoring today. Beto got us that goal. Beto got the goal. And there was, even at the end of the game, some people, I know he did some things where he didn't hold the ball up and Brighton come back at us. But that sliding at the keeper was a perfect example of that. Do you know where he slide tackled the keeper? It was a good tackle, by the way. It wasn't a foul. It wasn't even a foul. The referee got that wrong. And he's running and slide tackling keepers to get us up the pitch. And I know, we all know what he is. He has got clumsiness in him, but he does put a shift in Beto. And he's a big reason for the win today, Beto. So give him a bit of credit. And Jai scored the goal, but you don't get the penalty without Beto because he put their centre-back under a threat to make him do that handball. So Beto needs a bit of Beto love. I don't know if he'll stay, but Beto, thanks for that goal because that's 3 points. It gets us away from the relegation. So...
Just to do a quick share, just of who we've got coming up, because obviously the Leicester game is next, which is massive. Do you know what I mean? I know we've got a bit of a gap now in the table, but that's basically what we've got coming up. So Leicester at home.
I hate these
on the first.
I hate these.
Followed by the Saturday after.
Oh, I hate a game that.
Do
you know when you look at it again?
The derby
Brighton where you shouldn't
win. Palace away on the Saturday. Yeah, but that's us all over though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
We've got to change that.
All over.
Yeah,
all those games where we should have got hammered, we drew. You know, and then a lot of people didn't fancy us against Spurs. Spurs were well favourites for that game, actually, betting wise. So we managed to get that one. Obviously, it didn't go well against Villa, but there would have been a lot of people who would have had us getting beat on their coupon today. Definitely.
Everton actually made
some interesting
my
fixtures.
Everton was the last team on my coupon.
Really?
Fine. Yeah. Chloe put a £5 bet on and she put like Arsenal, all the easy ones, but she chucked Everton in there and I think she won 80 quid off a fiver because Everton was 5-1 to win today. So we was 5-1 to beat Brighton and we won. She's better than me at bets, to be fair. I don't like betting on Liverpool, but I think she actually put them in Iraka. I'm against that, but I think she won. But yeah, when you look at that, Paul, put it on again. We're coming to an end now, people. But when you look at that,
yeah, yep.
I'm on serious cloud nines here. Everton against Leicester, we can win 3 in a row. That cup against Bournemouth, I can't wait to get revenge on them. I really can't. And Bournemouth are really good, by the way.
Oh, I'm leaving the idea of that one.
No, I can't wait. I need to put that right, Luke. I can't have Bournemouth nightmares anymore. We're going to put that right under David Moyes. So if we're winning the FA Cup anyway, so we've got to put it right, Luke. So we beat Bournemouth there. And if we beat Bournemouth in the cup, we've then got the derby, which I didn't want it cancelled, I can't wait for the derby. I can't. We've got derby players, like Illiman and Jai in the derby. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to do damage. Lindstrom in the derby is going to be good. Mangala, I feel he's a battler in the derby, Garner Gay used to be good in the derby when he used to play for us. Garner Gay's good in the derby.
He's still good for the derby.
Yeah. Branthwaite, we all know he loves the derby because we remember what he did when we beat him last time we played him. Calvert-Lewin will probably be out. Hopefully he's not. He loves the derby. O'Brien, he's going to absolutely crunch them in a derby, the Giant. So, yeah, and we win that derby. We've got Crystal Palace. That'll be a good one. They're not easy, but I think we could beat them. Man United, be nice if they're still playing crap. Let's just win every game now. Is it possible to get top four, lads? That's my point. We beat Bournemouth when it mattered. We can do it again. Exactly. We was there. 1-0. Doucoure will score against Bournemouth. Yeah, so my point is, I'm looking at all those games thinking we can win them all. Am I getting too ahead of myself by thinking we can get top four this season?
No. I
think Europe is a decent shout, to be fair.
Only 18 points away at this point in time. So we just need to win 9-10 games on the bounce. Make sure everyone else in between us loses.
Perfect, Luke. I like your style, mate. Right. That's all we need to do, people. And Moyes has got a reputation of winning cups. So get at least top 6 this season. And we'll be smashing it.
Because of the way the Champions League system's been laid out now, where the top 2 leagues in Europe get the extra 5th place. So that means Everton could be a potential where the Premier League actually has 5 Champions League places. And if Man U somehow managed to win the Europa League, it means 6 teams in England could potentially go into the Champions League. Could you imagine that? 6 English teams in the Champions League.
And one of them's got to be us. Would?
One of them's definitely going to be us.
Got to be us.
We'll pip Newcastle or Chelsea to that top spot.
Honestly, look at that table that Paul's just put on. We can take over Man United and top.
2 more wins. Beat Leicester. Everyone have a week off for the cup and stuff. And we beat Liverpool. That's 29 points.
Yeah. If results go for us. Beat Leicester. Takes us to what? 25? 27? 12th spot. 26, sorry. We can, my maths is amazing. We can crack on.
Better goal difference in West Ham.
Not getting ahead of myself. Well, the main thing is I just want to get away from this relegation battle. But I do think we can. If correct me if I'm wrong and tell me what you think in the comments as well. And I shouldn't say this. People will say, "Oh, you shouldn't say this." But if we had David Moyes this season, I think that we would have done a Bournemouth. I really do, or a Nottingham Forest, because some of the games, if you look back this season, we just needed David Moyes to get us the win. We just needed a manager that knew how to get a win. And you think back and you look 2-0 up against Aston Villa, the way Dyche let us crumble. And the way we played against Brighton today, seeing it out. O'Brien should have played against Aston Villa to see that 2-0 out. So I honestly think when you think back, 2-0 up against Aston Villa, 2-0 up against Bournemouth, the Leicester, we was 1-0 up and we let it go 1-1. There's been so many points dropped by Sean Dyche. And if you add those points on now, you lot are saying that we can climb the table in this position. So imagine what we would have been if Dyche would have picked up the points that was there on the table this season. Should have changed manager at the start of the season. David Moyes.
There you
go. Look at the comments here. Some people are going on about mid-table.
Yeah, we don't care. David Moyes.
If we finish mid-table this season, I'll be made up with that because we can build on that. One of the issues with getting people into the Premier League, although it's a very prestigious league and everyone wants to get in it, you don't want to go in it to a team that looks like they're going to get relegated. So if we get mid-table, we can build from that, get some more attractive players that David Moyes can actually bring in. And then when we go into new stadium, we push further up. And I think a full season under Moyes, we'd easily get anywhere between 8th and 6th or 5th. Because at the moment, we are coming on its head.
We are coming to an end now. We could talk about Everton forever because when we win, we're happy. But a lot of us was thinking, get David Moyes in, but don't give him the new stadium because we don't want to be a shite Everton under David Moyes. But now I'm actually starting to think, does David Moyes do that much damage to us? Because I don't think he'd bring in players that you'd be really disappointed in. We're yet to see, but Moyes has already said that Farewell gets the main say on players in the interview. So I don't think there's much harm on keeping Moyes. I honestly do believe, where a lot of us were saying we don't want David Moyes in the new stadium, I think he could do us good. You know, he could build us back up to what we was before we left. Am I wrong there? He could. I think he'll make us solid. He'll make us decent. I don't think he'll do no harm at the minute. With the position we're in, we've got to climb that ladder with players that ain't particularly big name and incredible at the minute. And I think Moyes is the right man for the job, isn't he, Paul? Don't you think? He could win a trophy.
Could easily win a trophy. Oh,
he's done it with West Ham.
Get on the Moyes train.
Get on the Moyes train. He's the Moyes-sire. The Moyes-sire.
Let's hope he can part the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Hey.
the Moyes chants are coming out
today. Absolutely, I definitely heard him singing his name today. So everyone seems to be happy with him at the moment.
Okay. And Joy, I love him. And Joy's got a little kid as well. You know what I mean? And he still plays like that. Wow. And Joy is getting like he's got a little kid like similar age to mine now. His kid's probably about 7 weeks old. Isla's 4 weeks old. And Joy's probably getting sleepless nights like I am, but he's still smashing in penalties, even with sleepless nights. You've got to love him, haven't you? I am in love. I can't deny. Oh, number 10. Right, people, here we go. Paul has warned me before we went live today that even though he was partying Friday night, he's still going out partying now. He's just an animal.
Everyone should be now. Everyone should be going out now.
Yeah, he's an animal. So we'll let Paul go out and have his boogie. He's already had his 80s night. It's probably going to be 2025 night now because Everton are going all the way in 2025, people. Last words. I like to have a last words. People in the comments as well. Thanks for your comments. We tried to get them all on the screen. We're happy. I can see you all in the comments really happy. And that's why we do these match reactions. And it's nice, man. We deserve this. We deserve it. I'm not going to lie. A couple of games ago, if you listen to my match reaction under Daesh, I was saying, I don't think we can win a game under Daesh. Like, we're in big, big, big trouble. And then David Moyes is coming. And we said, we believe more can be got out of these players. And I've seen a better Gana Gay under David Moyes, a better Mangala under David Moyes, and O'Brien that was a ghost played under David Moyes. Braithwaite and Tarkowski solid. Mikalenko, new man under David Moyes. Calvert-Lewin, last game, better under David Moyes. And Beto, he's just a beast, isn't he? He is a beast. Right, people, last words, go on. Luke, what you got? Paul, and then we'll finish the show.
Well, in regards to last words, all I can say is up the freaking toffees and get him Moyes the Messiah. He's definitely going to be sending us right to the top, the way he's going right now. So let's fucking do it. Come on.
Keep it up. Keep it up, Moisey. Paul, last words.
Enjoy it. Wins don't come along every day, and we've had 2 in a row. So make the most of it, everyone. And like Lulu says, have a smashing time.
How many pints you headlocking tonight?
Ooh.
Handlocking, not headlocking, handlocking. Get your pints in a handlock.
Yeah, many. I think I'll have one. I think I'll have one for every tackle Gana Gay did today. It might be a slow day. It might be a slow Sunday.
Love it. Gana Gay is class. Paul's having at least 50 pints because Gana Gay did at least 50 tackles today. All the top is everyone. Have a boss one. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do so. We do appreciate it. Get behind the Toffee Bluecast. Everton are on the way up, baby. The only way is up, baby. Woo! David Moyes, Luke, finish it. David Moyes.
He's got grey hair and we don't care. David Moyes. Come on,